I will tell you, though, the hardest people for me to connect with are the millennials. We have any millennials in the audience? I see a few. Yeah, it's nothing to be proud of. Let me fix that statement. You're not gonna like this part. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, here's the thing. First of all, I don't understand your phrases. Like, y'all know they have a thing called a safe space. A safe space. I'm actually jealous. I would have loved a safe space. For those of you who don't know what a safe space is, that's where you can't criticize, you can't condemn them. Like, basically, they get to avoid life because they have a safe space. I would have loved a safe space, especially when I was getting a spanking. Y'all don't even know what that is. I would have loved a safe space when I was getting my mom would have been like, come get this butt whooping. I'd be like, no. Excuse me? I need a safe space. A what? A safe space. My mom would have shut that down in about 5 seconds. My mom would have been like, you came through my safe space to get here. Come get this butt whooping. I would have loved them.
Yeah. Millennials, you know what those are? In their 20s, right here, right? Yeah, where are the millennials? Make some noise. If you're in your 20s. Let's give it up. The generation that's described by the only generation I know that calls in sick when their feelings are hurt. Yeah. I'm going to say things in this set just to throw you guys off, the millennials, right? All right, in the middle of something, I'll just stop and go, cassette tape, right? Or job. Look at this guy back here. I don't care. I'll beat you in Fortnite. That was a gaming joke, sir. It's a gaming joke. We'll pray for you, is what we'll do, okay?
I used to make fun of millennials. That was something I did. Yeah, I used to make fun of millennials till I did a Google search. And I realized I am one. Now, I don't think they're that bad. That's who I am in a nutshell. I'm a total hypocrite. I will make fun of a group of people till I realize I am that group of people. And I'll be like, come on, you guys, they're all right. I like millennials. If I did have to pick on millennials, I think our biggest issue is we're too self-aware. We know exactly what's wrong with us and why, and I don't know if that's healthy. Because everyone in my age knows exactly what's wrong with them, but no one seems to be getting any better. Like, every person I meet my age, they're like, I have anxiety. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing about that? Nothing. I'm telling you, so you work around it. It's like, no, you did half the job. You identified it, but then you gotta, Everyone knows why they have anxiety. And they'll tell you right away, right when you meet somebody. I have anxiety because when I was 8, my brother locked me in a closet, kept me there all weekend. It's like, that's too soon. That's for tomorrow. That's if we talk again tomorrow. This is too soon. And it's not like we're the first generation to have anxiety. We're just the first generation to look into it. I'm sure previous generations had anxiety, but they didn't look into it. They're just like, I don't know, when I go to Costco, my cheeks tingle, and they kept it at that. They didn't have time to start digging into it. But that's who I am. I'm a millennial. I'm not manly. I'm not a manly person. I don't know if you guys can tell by my build. I'm not manly. I had someone recently ask me if I could change a flat tire, and I'm like, why would I even try? Why would I even attempt that? I have AAA. AAA. Get AAA. If you don't have it, get it. It's $50. $50 a year. You get a flat tire, one phone call, a real man shows up. And he does it all while you stand safely off to the side. Sipping a latte, making small talk, like, oh, is that a torque wrench? All right. And that's all you have to do. Someone asked me if I could change my own oil. Again, why would I even try? I don't even know where that hole is. And also, how well do you think I'm doing that you think I have a pit in my driveway? Because that's how I get my oil changed. You drive it over a pit, and there's a troll down there that has to... No one knows that guy. That's someone we keep down there. sweep snacks down there for him. He doesn't get to live in society with us, man.
I will defend your generation, because here's the knock on the millennials and their generation. You hear it all the time, the young people. You hear that that you are a coddled generation, and then when you get turned out into the real world, you're not ready for the real world, and you end up back at home, right? That's the knock on them. That's not their fault. Don't ever talk about them that's saying that's their fault. That's not on them. That's on you as a parent. Because at some point in time, we changed parenting. And somebody told the young people, oh, you have to tell them to follow their dreams. Just encourage them. Don't listen to anyone. You just follow your dreams no matter what somebody says. And they get turned out in the real world, and they realize there's no financial backing for a cat water park, and then they're back in your house. That's you. That's your fault. I try to bring them in the show early, because I know. Because right now, 24, I'm going to talk up here for 40, 45 minutes, and then you're going to sit there and stare and wonder why people are laughing at me. But in 10 years, you'll think I'm a genius. That's how it works. So I try to help. At 24, you enjoy every bit of your life at 24. I'm going to give you the facts of life, and all the people that are out there that are in that same age range. Enjoy every bit of it, the real facts of life. Not the stuff that's peddled to you, the real, raw, honest facts of life. That life is unfair, life is ironic, life does not always work out. Am I right so far? Life is hilarious at times when it shouldn't be. Not everyone gets a trophy. There is no such thing as a participant ribbon. It is first, second, or third place. If you don't get one of those, then you just tell people you were there. You understand? That nobody came back from Brazil with a participant ribbon. That's what I'm saying. Enjoy every bit of your life. Because at 24, the truth of life is, at 24, you got about 4 more years till it's different. I'm not saying over, I'm just saying it's different. You taking things for granted at 24. 24, I bet you can eat a meal and then do something right afterwards, can't you? I bet you can. Yeah, you hold on to that. The body can't be multitasking like that forever. 51 years old, you eat a sandwich, be in the middle of a conversation, go, ooh, I gotta lie down. I gotta lie down. Yeah, I just ate and I can digest or talk to you, but I can't do both. I will talk to you after my nap, but right now I need to be in a bed. That's where I need to be. And people hear me talk about this and they get angry. They go, oh, don't tell young people that. Life begins at 40. Life is well over by 40. Get your act together by 28. Look, if you want to know what the perfect model for life is, Benjamin Button, that's the perfect model for life. Because you peak physically and mentally at the same time. 24, that's the top of the game. If you're an athlete, you're strong, you could run, you could jump, but if somebody said use that effectively in a competition, you wouldn't know how to do it. And by the time you got the wisdom able to do it effectively, you can't get out of a chair. Try to bring people on board. People in denial there. I try to bring them on board. How old are you, sir? 46? How old are you, my friend? 51. Gentlemen here, arm cross. 50. All right, we're all about the same. But that didn't even matter where we were. If we were even 30-something, we're still the same because we're past 28. Because that's what it is. Because you know what we say on a regular basis, the 24 never says? I think I slept wrong last night. Look at the young faces in this room. They don't even know what I'm talking about. Don't you just fall asleep? Oh, yeah, you used to. Then wait till one night you're getting ready for bed. Wait for that to happen. I got to get ready for bed. Because last Wednesday I slept wrong, and then I was messed up till Friday. So this time, wait till you wake up in the morning with gray hair and acne. What in the world? How am I going backwards and forwards at the same time? I wish I had better news for you, young people. I do. I wish you. So you got 4 years. You enjoy it. Coast it all the way, and then 28, just ride it on out. Because there are times I drive by the cemetery and go, you lucky scoundrels, look at you. I wish it got better. I wish it did. It doesn't at all. That's what I've become in this. That's what I've become in my old age. I'm at a point in my life. If you like technology, got a lot of technology going on. If anybody asks you, because they might, they say, hey, when did Lamont quit on technology? You tell them 51. That's when I quit. I've clocked out 51. I got enough. Got enough up here. Don't need any more. Got it all. I'm good. But I know everything. I don't pay attention to it anymore. I'm good. I'm fine. I know that, you know when I drew the line? Snapchat, that's when I drew the line. I did, I know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I know the young people, you know what it is because you use it. I don't know, and don't tell me. I don't want it up here. I don't want it. I don't want it. It sounds dirty in the first place. It does. Sounds dirty. You want to see my Snapchat? No. No. Why would you say that? This is mixed company. No. It's a photo app. I know that much. It's a photo app because this is what this society is. We love taking pictures because there's no accountability. You don't have to make any decisions. Look at it. Look, here's 1,500 pictures of me. I just went outside for 10 minutes. Look at that. Because you just take pictures till the battery in the camera dies. That's it. See? It's a different generation. Folks my age, we had to make decisions because our camera had 24 pictures. And you had to make harsh decisions about what you took pictures. There are times your friends go, hey, could you take a picture of me? You're like, ooh, I got 3 left, so no. Yeah, I got you on another roll, so no, I can't do that.
I admire millennials because they are so focused, so filled with inspiration and motivation, hopes and dreams for the future. The older I get, the less ambitious I become. When I turned 30, I was like, I want to be rich. But then I turned 40 and I was like, I want to be comfortable. Then I turned 50 and I was like, I want to be in bed by 9:30. I often find myself working alongside millennials, and millennials use a phrase that I can't stand. No worries. No worries, dude. We'll take care of it. No worries. Of course you have no worries. You're 22. I'm 53. I have lots of worries. At 22, you can eat 1 slice of cheese and know you're going to go to the bathroom sometime over the next 3 months. But 1 slice of Velveeta at 53 and I'm backed up like I-15 at rush hour. You know how I can tell I'm getting older? I was at a bar/restaurant recently and I saw a table of college kids order a round of Jell-O shots, and my first thought was, I'd love a bowl of Jell-O. The older I get, the bigger my sweet tooth becomes. I can eat an entire bag of Hershey miniatures in one sitting. You have not experienced shame until you've woken from a sugar coma naked, covered in 300 tiny candy wrappers. And everyone at the airport has their phones out streaming you to Instagram. Thing is, I can't eat chocolate anymore because 4 years ago my doctor diagnosed me with acid reflux disease, and he gave me a long, depressing list of food and beverages I have to avoid. Sorry, Jeffrey, but no Coke, no Pepsi, no beer, no wine, no orange juice, no grapefruit, no pizza, no lasagna, no burritos, no gumbo, no chicken wings, no cheeseburgers, no chocolate, no mint, no chewing gum. Doc, if I can't eat that stuff, I should just end it all today. Okay, if you want, but no arsenic, no cyanide, no strychnine, no rat poison. I have a girlfriend. My apologies to everybody who just lost a bet. Wow, that joke got a bigger laugh than I was hoping for. Recently, a 33-year-old woman asked me out. She didn't know I had a girlfriend. And even if I weren't in a relationship, I wouldn't have gone out with her because 20 years is way too big of an age difference. Because at 33, she's in her romantic prime, and at 53, I'm in my Amazon Prime. My girlfriend is afraid I'm going to leave her for a younger, prettier woman. That would never happen. I love her too much. I might leave her for a quieter, less critical woman. If I go home with with a woman half my age, it's to steal her hair care products. I've got no game. I'm at the age where romance is less important to me than silence. At 53, no offense, ladies, but at 53, I like my women the way I like my coffee, with a lid on it.
If you saw my last special, I made fun of millennials. I don't know if you remember that or not. Yeah, it was quite popular. Do we have anybody here tonight under the age of 30? Any 20-somethings? That's still the dumbest group of humans I've ever met in my life. You're not dumb academically, I'll get to that, but you are soft emotionally, I can tell you that. The reason I say that, when I was growing up, our parents let us play in the street, climb trees, and blow stuff up. And you know what happened if you got hurt or maimed? You got a new name. I had two friends I grew up with, Amer and Niner. When Amer was 6, he was in the garage with his big brothers blowing stuff up. He lost his right eye. It was closed the rest of his life. He looked like he was aiming a gun. That's how he got the name Amer. He was the Amer. Everybody called him Amer. I did not know his name was not Amer. Till the first day of 3rd grade, the teacher said, Ross Thomas. We all went, Ross Thomas, who? Amer is your name, Ross? We started laughing. That sounded funnier to us than Amer did. And Amer says to the teacher, no, my name's Amer. My mom is the only one that calls me Ross. And she goes, well, Amer, how'd you get that name? He goes, do you imagine now a kid even pretending to point a gun at a teacher? There'd be a lockdown, there'd be a helicopter above the school. My friend Niner in the 4th grade, there were 4 of us. We were all out in the woods together. We were all climbing trees. We were all up about 15 feet, and he fell. And on the way down, he was trying to grab branches, and by the time he hit the ground, he'd lost most of his ring finger. And every time I tell this story, I still picture it. It's 55 years ago. It still makes me laugh. Because he got up and he's dusting himself off. He's going, I'm bleeding somewhere. I'm bleeding. I'm cut. I don't know what. And my other friend says, look at your hand. And he screamed and he ran home. And we all climbed down and followed him, but none of us thought to look for his finger. About 4 days later, he's back in class. His hand's all heavily bandaged up. We're learning about decimal points for the first time in our life. He raises his hand. He says, I have 9.2 fingers. Called him Niner for the rest of his life. When I was a kid, everybody had a nickname. Every single kid. Nobody went by their real name. And it was given to you by your friends, usually about a body part that was not flattering. I had friends who were Paunch, Taterhead, Lips, Chin. Lips had big old Pete Davidson lips. Chin didn't have one. We originally called him Viola because we knew he'd never play one. I had another friend in high school. He had a short right arm. It was fully functional, but it was a short arm on this side, right? So he had a big hand and a little hand. We called him Clock. Everybody called him Clock. The teachers called him Clock. He was Clock. Clock was awesome, too. He was in my 2nd period algebra class, and we were supposed to be in our seats every day at 9 o'clock when the bell rang, but Clock would always wait out in the hall until that bell rang, and he'd burst through the door every morning like this. It was never not funny. Every single day we waited for that moment and laughed for 10 minutes. One day we're sitting in class, the bell rings, and he doesn't come through the door. We're like, oh, well, that's weird. Where's Clock? Must be absent. Well, he was tardy. 10 minutes later, he burst through that door like... We laughed until 9:30. And Clock was the best student in class, and he was by far the best student in class. And every Friday we had to race him on problems. The teacher would put problems up on the board. We had to compete against him. We called it Beat the Clock. Nobody could beat him. He had that left hand going like this, and the eraser in his short hand, and like. One time in PE class, this is after class, we're in the locker room changing, right? And we had two new kids in class, and they were bullies. And they were bullying Clock. And so Clock's in there, and he goes, I'm going to knock you out with this hand. And then he goes, boom, and just spins this kid and knocks him out. Just boom, hits the ground. And then he turns the other one and goes, or this one. And when he hit that kid, you know, we all hooted and hollered, and the teacher came running out of his office. What's going on? What's going on? We said, well, these guys were bullying Clock, and he knocked one of them out. And by then, this kid's kind of getting up, and the teacher just walks over and goes, you just got knocked out by a kid with a half arm. Hope you learn to keep your mouth shut. And that was the end of it. Nobody got sent to the office. Nobody got suspended. Nobody's parents got called. Nowadays, Clock would have been the one that got suspended for throwing that first punch. And then you'd have to bring your parents and get an anger management plan. Well, I got angry and I punched that kid. That's the plan. Can you imagine now calling kids by their afflictions? Hey, here's my buddies, Blinky and Snort. Here's my other friend, Orphan. His parents were anti-vaxxers. Not accurate. I said the 20-somethings are dumb. They're not dumb. It's just certain ways of the world. The reason I say that, you watch, in the not-too-distant future, hackers are going to knock out our cell phones and the internet. These 20-somethings that are come to a stop, stare at their phone, and have no idea what to do next. Because they've always had an internet connection. If we lose the internet, us old folks, we got a plan B. You 20-somethings are going to have to find a bunch of old people and ask us how to do stuff. Hey, mister, can you help me get home? I don't know how to do directions. Well, I can draw you a map, but you're going to have to listen and store the information in your head.
A lot of comedians make fun of millennials, not me. You got it tougher. Like older guys, our lives, older women, your lives, basically your whole lives. Here's what you had to do. If something was funny, you laughed. Not millennials. You got a whole different math. It's the millennial math. It's like, okay, was that racist? Was that sexist? Was that body shaming? A lot of stuff to consider. Here's the thing that I will share with you that I will make fun of millennials. The only time millennials make me crazy is when I watch HGTV. And you'll see a millennial couple, it happens once a week on there, and they're buying a house that I will never be able to afford. And it's always something like, my name is Topher, and I'm 28. I make antique kites. And my wife makes vegan-friendly emojis. Last year we cleared almost $9,000. Our house budget is $950,000. We could go to $1 million if it helps our carbon footprint. It's like trust fund, house hunters edition or something.
I am a millennial. It's interesting. I could tell that, given the last sort of year, millennials you can wipe that disdain off your face, miss. I'm aware that we're not well-liked. I've been through being a millennial for my entire life. My mid-30s is basically just various older members of my family walking up going, ugh. Your generation, so wasteful with money, your generation. Your generation spends $25 on breakfast. And then I have to say, well, that's how much breakfast costs. And I was told by someone in your generation it was the most important meal of the day. So take that, Nana.
He's on the phone, he's yelling at his son. He's like, my son What a loser, 24 years old. I'm like, yeah, I have a boy too. He's like, oh, mine, what a waste. Doesn't want to get a real job, wants to stay in the house, doesn't want to do anything. And I said, yeah, well, he was like, how about your son? He goes, does he still live with you? I said, yeah. He goes, oh, please tell me his excuse. I said, well, he's in 6th grade. And you get working papers at 10 or 11, you know, I'll kick him out. That's all I got. That's my life, just hanging out with millennials, too. That's, because, you know, what do you think? When I go to the baseball field, I take them to football and baseball and tennis. What do you think? It's old bags like me? It's all young millennial guys. It's all younger guys like you guys taking your kids. And I sit with the grandfathers. That's what I do. And they don't even know it. I got to convince them. They're like, which one's your grandson? I'm like, excuse me, my son is pitching, all right? Leave me alone right there. Just, I don't relate to the millennials either, too. I'm not speaking down to them. I know I got some young dudes here, but, you know, first of all, they all have beards. I don't understand this generation. They just want to keep the beards going on. Even at 20 years old, I don't understand. I used to have a one-day scruff. My father would be like, shave, you lazy bum, yeah. Now these kids, they talk about topics I've never heard of. They try to pull me in. They're like, you like wrestling? I'm like, dude, I don't like wrestling. They're like, how about Harry Styles? You like Harry Styles? I'm like, is he a chiropractor? I go, I have sciatica. I know, you know? They're like, oh, Gooch, come on, what's your rap name? I go, my rap name? And they're like talking to my son, what's your dad's rap name? I'm like, dude, what are you talking? They go, just put the last thing you bought right after the word Lil. The guy's like, yeah, my name's Lil Pizza. I said, all right, my name is Lil Blood Thinner. How's that sound?
Yeah. And I'm telling you this, the hardest part about teaching, y'all, the kids' names. Millennials getting way too creative, I'm telling you. First of all, I got a little boy in my room named Sapphire Moon. Exactly. And then he's gonna come up to me and say, oh, Miss Gaines, I don't have my homework because Mercury in retrograde. Why do you know that? You know what I mean? I was like, and tell your mama you need to stop burning all this sage in my classroom. I don't understand, you know, what all this means, okay? And then, check this out. I have another one in my classroom named Shan Dweller. Yes, and this is what millennials do. Because I can look at this audience tonight and tell you all your names are extinct, okay? None of y'all are repeats, all right? Shan Dweller, what they do is they take 3 syllables, they push them together, and then they arbitrarily capitalize any letter they feel like capitalizing. And now they started putting punctuation marks in the name. What? Let me tell you how Shan Dweller mama spell her name. Y'all got to follow me, okay? You ready? Capital S-H-A hyphen capital D-W @ asterisk I-L apostrophe A-H. Exactly. I looked at the roster. I said, baby, is this your name or your mama computer password?
I used to spend like $200 on a car. I'd drive it till it blew up. I'd put out my thumb, somebody take me to the next gig. It was a very exciting way to live. But often, the radio did not work. Okay, young people. In the 1990s, if your radio didn't work, you had something called a Walkman, okay? This was a 16 to 22 pound device that you would either wear on your hip or would sit next to you in the car as you drove. Now, the Walkman did not have the music in it. It was a music delivery system. The music was kept on a cassette tape. Here's what we did. We took the music, we wrapped it up really tight, we covered it in plastic, and we put that in a box in the car. So it's not like now where you just say the name of a song and it starts playing. That was work! You had to like dig for it, you had to find the corresponding tape, put it into the Walkman, but here's the thing about Walkman, no eject ever worked in the history of Walkman ever. You always had to pry it open like a can of soup on The Walking Dead. You'd get it in there, and then you'd watch it actually spin forward or backward until you found the actual song. This is really the way that we did it. Anyway, I got pulled over because apparently it's illegal to wear headphones when you drive. And I asked the cop, I said, why is it illegal to wear headphones when you drive? And he said, well, you can't hear emergency vehicles to stop for them. And I said, so how are we having this conversation? $900. That ticket was $997 for wearing headphones. And the car didn't have insurance and it wasn't technically licensed because I couldn't pass DQ and my license was suspended at the time and then I didn't pay the ticket so they doubled it, but it was $900!
Can't get away with irony and sarcasm as much. I find that's an age difference. At my age, it's hard to get away with sarcasm because young people just think you're being mean at my age. See, I was kidding. I don't think you were. It's irony. I was being ironic. Really, at your age? I don't... Plus, what is and isn't mean has just changed. The boundaries of propriety, and I lose track. I'm always inappropriate at the... Like this happened, I was joking around. I was buying televisions. I was going to buy I was going to buy multiple. I was buying a television. Things aren't going that well. And all the TVs out in front of me, and I'm trying to choose them, and I got it down to, like between a Sony, that's like a Japanese television brand, a Sony and a Samsung and an LG, and I'm looking at like 7 or 8 screens for like 40 minutes, and I just can't figure out which to get, and finally I turn to the clerk, and I say, you know what, I hate to admit this, but to me, I think all Asian televisions look alike. It's a joke. That's a joke. Come on. Because that's what he did. He kind of shook it off. Like, come on, I was joking. And I can't tell the difference between Asian televisions. They all look the same. He could tell. Of course he can. He's Korean. He could tell. Yeah, he's Korean or Japanese. I can't tell. But... The point is that racist? I don't think it is. It's just I'm stupid. And inexperienced. I've never had the opportunity to see those two different nationalities next to each other. Side by side. I didn't have it in college. I never took a math class. That was a little racist. That was. But also accurate. I never took math.
How many are not under the age of 30? 20-somethings? Let me hear from the 20-somethings. Yeah. These are the dumbest people I've ever met in my life. Not personally, just as a group. Do me a favor, put some cash in your pocket, grease your debit cards every $1.17 purchase. I get so tired of standing behind on a mini mart. That's $1.17. Here's my debit card. You don't have $1.25? I know they're dumber than people my age. When I was growing up, we didn't have any childproof caps. You dropped a Coke bottle, it didn't bounce, it shattered. Our parents let us play with guns and knives and fireworks. You know what happened to the dumb kids? They didn't make it. It's true. These guys grew up in a world that's childproofed and padded. All the dumb ones lived. Now they use debit cards, so $1.17 purchases. You ever see what they're buying? Energy drinks. How much energy do you need in your 20s? Should be selling those at the retirement village. That's the target market right there. A couple of monsters and a Red Bull are going to pick up that bingo game, I'm sure. B19, that's mine. A lot of our terms don't mean anything. I don't want to sound like a broken record. You know what that means, right? People under 30 never owned a record player. They don't know what that means. They don't know what that means. They don't know what that means. You still don't. You ever watch them on their smartphones? Can't put them down. Somebody calls, somebody texts, they need a tweet. Jeez, focus. You ever take a smartphone away from a 20-something? They don't know what to do. They look like they got hit with a shovel. It's like... I should have learned how to talk to people. The text never ends either. It's nonstop. Did you know in Seattle, I'm not making this up, there's a public service campaign going on. It's on the buses, in the newspapers, on the radio stations, telling young people, you cannot text 911. You have to call and use your voice. I wish I was making that up. Because apparently they've had trouble with it. OMG, someone's in the house. I am not ROFLMAO. Use initials for everything you either take. It's all initials. End of a funny sentence, LOL. You know, we used to put initials at the end of a funny sentence. We used to write H-A-H-A. It's pronounced ha-ha, and it stood for ha-ha. Which is a much better way to say ha-ha than lol. You're not the first ones to use the initials, FYI. I make fun of the 20-somethings of their phones, but you know what? I'm as bad as they are. They're addictive. It's instant information at the end of your hand. It's hard to leave them alone. But I do miss the black, old-school rotary phones. You know why and what those are good for? 20-somethings, you're missing out on this. The older people remember this. Ending an argument. Yeah. Remember slamming those down? Felt good to slam a phone down. You could let some aggression out. You know what? Kiss mine. Felt good. Can't do that with a smartphone. You know, kiss mine, beep, click. You tear your pants pocket out doing that. Now, those old phones, there was a bell in there. You slammed it hard enough, you could ring it. Look, I see some people nodding there, remember? You know what? Kiss mine. Bing. You guys know I did this? Phones used to be on the wall. I'm not making that up. I'll tell you something else. People used to call us. We didn't know who it was. I'm not making that up either, am I? Remember the phone would ring? You would run to answer it. You pull your hamstring getting to the phone. Now you hear that thing ring, you go, whatever. And do you know why you would run? Listen to this. Do you know why you would run to the phone? Listen to this. Because if you didn't get there, there were no answering machines. Look at you looking at me like, no way. And then you didn't know. You did not know. You'd stand like, who was that? And then, listen to this. You had to call all your friends, listen to this, on numbers that you stored in your head. I'm not making that up either, am I? No. All the old people in here, they know the number of the house they grew up in. Am I right? Yeah. Now do you know your spouse's number? No. Phones are smart. We're not. Some kids are having trouble telling time now. They never see the face of a clock. They don't know how to tell time. Think about the crummy fighter pilots they're going to make. Enemy aircraft, 2 o'clock. That's in an hour.
Because she said stupid stuff all the time. All the time. Here's an example. We're going down to Maryland for a little summer weekend. Just the two of us to meet friends all down there. And she's sitting next to me in the car. Next to me. And she goes, hey, Mom, can you see me in your rearview mirror? Thank you, sir. You got that right away. I did. I was like, no, I cannot see you or high school graduation. What are you talking about? And there she is, a few years later. She's in her teens, okay? We're walking towards Target because I needed underwear. They sell them in 6-packs and 8-packs at this point. That's how we rock and roll at this age. That's how we do it. So we're walking towards Target. She finally looks up from her phone and she goes, hey, Mom, what does the symbol for Target mean? Again, intelligent crowd. What does the symbol for Target mean? I just looked at her and go, it means community college, honey. She went, does it really? I was like, yes! I'm so saving on this one. I am. She really does. She hates that joke. She does. She gets so annoyed. It's just a circle within a circle. So makes it a target! Sorry. It's a lot to keep up with millennials. I'm trying really hard. Oh, man. And she gets me sometimes. She was up in Canada. That's where she is. And it was the first day of spring. So I sent her a little text. And I was like, hey, sweetie, first day of spring. Hope things are warming up for you up there in Canada. Love you, Mom. And I put like a little Easter bonnet emoji, and sent it off. Ding! And 2 seconds later, I get back. Thanks, Mom. Why'd you send me an emoji of a taco? I didn't. It's an Easter bonnet. And she was like, put your glasses on. It's taco. And she was right. So close. I'm fighting with millennials, isn't it? It's tough. It's tough, millennials. Oh my goodness. Are my husband and I, are we the only ones that is actually texting our kids from the kitchen when they're upstairs? Oh, no, right? I'm not the only one, right? No. Every night my husband's like, tell the kids dinner's ready. And I'm like, I do not want to talk to them. I'm texting them from the kitchen. They're upstairs. And I go, hey, dinner's ready. What is it? Something you'll hate. Just come down. And they don't move. They don't move. So I call her. I call my daughter. She's upstairs. I call her on the phone. And I was like, and she does this. Huh? Why do millennials talk like that? Why must they talk like that? Huh? What do you want? What do you want? I want you to get a job interview. That's what I want. I want you to enunciate. That's what I want. I want you to actually pronounce a word. You use the muscles in your mouth and say something like hello, not huh. Huh. But we have to be nice to millennials. We do, right? We have to. They're going to rule the world. And I hope they develop an app where somebody changes my diaper every hour on the hour. Because they're going to wheel me in a hallway in a chair somewhere. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I got to be nice. Got to be nice.
I love the demographics here. We have young people. We have old people. I'm the old people. You're the young people. I have daughters your age. It makes me nervous. Because you can't look at girls the same way. When you have daughters in their 20s and their 30s, you look at girls like this. You can't look at them like a guy looks at a girl. I'm looking at her right now. I'm going, does she have money for Uber? Does she have a coat that's going to keep her warm at night? Does her mother know she's here? Does she have to go on those dating sites? I don't want to die alone.com. I worry about you. For no reason except that I have daughters. You've ruined my life. Get out. No, don't get out. Poor baby. Make me drive you home in my rent-a-car. To your house. What is your name?
Carly.
Carly? Yeah. Are you sure? How old are you, 22? 19. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. She's so cute. I'm Carly, I'm 19. So funny, that man with a big nose. It reminded me of my daughter when she was 16. My younger daughter when she was 16. That was a big time for me. She turned 16. She officially changed my name from John Joseph to whatever. She didn't have one shirt that covered her belly. Every shirt stops here. They're like neck bandanas. But Daddy's the idiot when he said, Emily, don't you have any shirts that cover your belly? You are so stupid. These are the clothes we wear. In those days, I used to have the flip phone. You remember the flip phone? I love that phone. The 9 didn't even work. I had that phone so long, the 9 was just broke. It didn't work. So if there was an emergency, I had to dial 411. Hello, information? Call 911. I'm on fire. My kid had the iPhone 7 WS to the 3rd power. You press a button, another boyfriend came out. She called it an app. And she would never call me. She would text me. She could text me 30 times in 10 seconds. She would make one call at the end. Daddy, why don't you text me back? I'm just trying to find the L, okay? I'm not 19. She's 19. She could jump off the stage, land on her head, and go play volleyball. Nothing would hurt. There would be no bruises. Look at me. Look at me! I hurt myself sleeping. Do you understand what I'm saying? I literally woke up 3 a.m., middle of the night, with the worst cramp in the world. I had a cramp. I had to get out of bed. I was walking like this. And then all of a sudden, my wife wakes up because it's 3 in the morning. What are you doing awake? It's She doesn't really talk like that, but I've been married a long time. She doesn't use words anymore, just high-pitched sounds. I've changed so many batteries in the smoke alarm until I realized it was her voice. So I have to force myself to sleep through the pain so I don't have to hear that sound anymore. There were other husbands outside walking their dogs and they would She's 19 years old. She looks in the mirror to see how pretty she is, make sure her eyeliner matches her purse, and it matches this and it matches that. Look at me. Look at me. I look in the mirror to see what new stuff just grew on my body. The older you get, the more your body becomes a farm for foreign growth. You spend more time looking in the mirror after you're 50 than you ever did when you're 19. I can't even walk past the elevator in the hotel I'm staying in without, what the heck is this?
I like to mess with my millennial nieces and nephews. I like to ask them funny questions. The other day I asked my niece, who do you think George Foreman is? You know what she said? He's the grill guy. If you're not laughing, it's because you think he's the grill guy. He's a boxer. He's not the grill guy. She didn't know the difference. My son is a millennial. He just turned 18 years old. You guys know what that means? 18 means he will no longer be known as the defendant's mother. He turned 18 and he wanted wheels for his birthday, so I got him a U-Haul. That's the parent section over here. He's got them holes in his ears. You should let your kids get those holes. It makes it so much easier to chain them up. Mommy said, you're not going anywhere tonight.
The next generation after the silent generation are the baby boomers, and the baby boomers were born between the 1940s and mid-60s. This is my mom's generation. These are the people that perfected smoking. They smoked at home, they smoked at work, they smoked in church, they smoked in restaurants between bites of food. There were ashtrays on the tables at McDonald's. They smoked in the car with their children with the windows rolled up very tightly. But we're all still here. Now, for some reason, the boomers are upset and mad at the millennials. And to be fair, everybody's mad at the millennials. And I think it's because they invented avocado toast. And the word artisanal. And they're putting pumpkin spice in way too many beverages that should not have pumpkin spice in it, right? And it's not their fault. Millennials, it's not your fault that you're big goobers. It's not your fault. It's not. It's because your Star Wars had Jar Jar Binks in it. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. And it doesn't matter because the millennials are all getting married and having babies now and their lives are over, so it doesn't even matter at all. So
36, I'm not handling my 30s very well because realizing 30s is not old, but it is almost old. Like, you're right there, you know? And some of you are in your 30s, you're like, that's not true, I'm still young. Yeah, the first stage of grief, denial. You'll come along. It's not. You got a little young in you and a little old. You're in transition, you know? Like, I still get excited about concerts, but I also get excited about Kohl's cash. I'm in transition, you understand me? And everything changes. You can get hurt doing anything in your 30s. Anything is dangerous. I play basketball once a week. I texted a friend my age, and I said, hey, are you going to be here this week? And he said, no. I threw out my back. And I said, how? And he said, folding a sheet. And I wasn't surprised. I was mad at him because we needed the numbers. I was like, come on, man, you're 36. You know you can't be doing that by yourself anymore. You free soloed a sheet? Are you insane? You need a spotter for that kind of action.
I'm in my 30s. I still got no chest hair. It's not going to start now. Actually, it's worse than no chest hair. I've got like 12 chest hairs. I take my shirt off, it looks like somebody stomped on a couple of daddy long legs. It's not a great look for the beach. It's gotten easier to be a man, I'll say that, you know. Like 20 years ago, I was a huge wuss. Nowadays, I'm kind of butch. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, millennial dudes, for lowering that bar for me a little bit. Yeah. But you used to have to know all kinds of stuff to be a man. Like every man used to have to be able to look at any car and tell you the make and the model right away. If you give me a couple minutes, I can probably tell you, you know, is that one mine? My check engine light came on one time. I just started laughing right there in the driver's seat. It's like, what? There's nothing I can check down there. The little picture on the light's how I found out what my engine looks like.
So I recently turned 40, like 10 years ago, and over 40, wave a hand. If you're over 40, wave a hand. Okay. Now, if you're not 40, you're going to think this is a joke. But if you're over 40, you know I'm telling the truth, because you start going through things when you cross 40 that you don't go through in your 30s and 20s. A couple weeks ago, I got hurt sleeping. Anybody? Anybody? Not jumping out of bed while I slept. I pulled a muscle. Now I'm limping around my house the whole day. I didn't know what happened. I couldn't remember. Then it hit me that I got that cramp. Who gets the cramp in the middle of the night? The cramp in the calf. Came time for me to take my nap, but I was scared. I'm not in good enough shape to sleep. So, of course, I made that New Year's resolution to work out. I went to the doctor, though, and I said, you know, I want a workout plan. He told me to start with 25 crunches a day. I said, man, that's a lot of chocolate. But, I'm up to 12 bars a day, man. I'm feeling better, but my diabetes is out of control right now. I wore black tonight. Ladies know that secret. Black makes you look thinner. I think it's true because I often see chubby white women with black boyfriends. Just seeing how far I could go with you guys, huh?
Nobody cares when you're 37. Like, I don't want to be young again. I just want people to care about my birthday again. It's been a while, right? I got 2 birthday cards this year, and one was from State Farm Insurance, so I don't think that counts, right? Like, happy birthday, Corky. Well, it's Corey. Have you considered life insurance? Well, not until now. They always had that like sad deflated balloon inside. Like, this is how you should feel about your life. All right, State Farm. I don't know. One lady I work with, super excited about my birthday, but she gets super excited about everybody's birthday, so it doesn't feel special. I don't know if you've met somebody like this that's like, oh my, it's your birthday? I didn't know it was today is your birthday. Why didn't you tell me it was your birthday, Corey? Well, because I don't like to speak to you, Kathy. You knit mints and eat baby carrots at staff meetings. I don't think we're going to be friends, right? She goes, well, you should have told me because my birthday's in June, too. What are the odds? 1 in 12, I think, right? It's better than the odds of us talking again, that's for sure. I don't like you. Turned 37 in June, and my parents had their 37th wedding anniversary 6 months earlier, in January. And I just figured that out this year. I was like, whoa. Wait a second. Because I wasn't premature, right? Apparently, my dad was. And, He pulled the trigger early, and then they had him have a shotgun wedding. This is what happens.
You can't tell these days. You can't, because I always feel like I'm younger than I am. Until I hang out with people in their 20s. And I'm like, no, I am tired.
Boy, and then my son married a hippie girl. He married a hippie, a Minnesota granola cruncher, and we love her to death. We really do, but we have butted heads more than once about diet. First of all, she makes a list of things we're not allowed to feed our grandchildren. Are you kidding me? They're my grandchildren. I'm going to give them whatever they want. If they want a silo full of sugar, I'm going to pour them in it. Just throw them in it. Go ahead. There's a door on the bottom. Eat your way all the way out there. Are you kidding me? My son, my youngest boy, when he was born, we didn't give him sugar. We didn't. He was 2, 3 years old, never had anything but plain Cheerios every day for breakfast. Plain. We didn't even put bananas in it. We just eat plain Cheerios, and he ate them up, loved them. The first time I visited my mother, I went out to the golf course with my dad. I come back. My 3-year-old son, who never had sugar in his life, is up to his neck in a Jethro Bodine bowl full of Cocoa Puffs. He says, he looked at me like I betrayed him. You lied to me. And that was it. He never ate a Cheerio again. So I got grandkids, and I'm doing the same thing to mine. Just eat this. This is... My daughter-in-law says, no way. Then she gives us a list of things we can feed our granddaughters. You know what's on the list? Non-GMO organic fruit roll-ups. Have you seen a fruit? You could patch a flat bicycle tire with a fruit roll-up. I can't imagine what this thing is doing to her 4-year-old colon as it's zipping through there. And my daughter-in-law says, well, they're made with real fruit. I said, well, so is real fruit made with real fruit. That's not on the list. She says, because you and your wife buy the wrong kind of fruit. I said, well, we buy the fruit that hangs on trees. What other kind of fruit is there? She goes, non-GMO organic. I said, I'm not spending $12 for a banana. She can eat what we eat. She said, no, she can't, because it has pesticides. My daughter-in-law is afraid of pesticides. Are you kidding? In America I grew up in, I'm telling you, my mother used to give me a puddle of mercury to play with on the kitchen table. Here, Jeff, play with this puddle of toxic waste with this lead paint chip I got for you. Play around in that for a while, then she'd come by, scrape it into my tuna, and I'd eat it for lunch. And now I can't get peanuts on an airplane anymore because little Joey 6 rows back might get some peanut dust on his elbow and drop dead. Will someone tell me where all these peanut allergies came from? You're about my age. You even remember one kid with a peanut allergy? Not one. Now they're ubiquitous. I'm telling you, terrorists do not need to blow up any buildings. They need to take over a planter's factory and crop dust Atlanta. That's it. They'd wipe out a third of the millennial population. They would.